Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. First of all, let me thank you all for coming here today. Before we begin, let me introduce myself. I am Indi Shofi Mariha, you can call me Indi, the student of Islamic Education Department of UIN Malang. Our topic today is Gate and Challenge of Islamic Religious Education Teachers in the Future. I will begin by presenting the meaning of Islamic education. I will continue by meaning Islamic religious education teachers, that is an requirement to become a teacher of Islamic religious education. Finally, I will explain the guide and challenge of Islamic religious education teachers. I will begin distribute materials of participants and then I will convey the gist of my material. Finally, I will open a question and answer session. Don't worry about taking notes. I have put all the important statistics on a screen for you. If you have any question, feel free to interrupt me or anytime. Before going to the discussion, we need to know what is the meaning of Islamic religious education, how are the duties of an Islamic religious education teachers, what conditions should be listed in Islamic religious education teacher, and the challenge of Islamic religious education teacher in the future. Considering the current era is entry of a very advanced and modern era, because sometimes Islamic religious education today ignores it because they focus more on matters other than religion, such as other academics.
Well, here we go. My presentation is Get and Challenge Islamic Religious Education Teacher in the Future. In this part of my presentation, I would like to tell you about meaning of Islamic education. Islamic education is a conscious effort through guidance, teaching, and training to prepare students in order to meet their future and make Islamic teachings as a guide and guide for their life. And the education that is intended is always based on teachings of the Quran and Al-Hadith. Let's move on to the next point. Islamic religious education teacher that is divided into four parts. In the first, professional that is divided into parts as well as teach, educate, train, assess, and evaluate. 2. Humanitarian tasks. Teachers must be able to place themselves in school as second parents. 3. Community that is Islamic religious education teachers do not only teach in the classroom and outside the classroom, but need to be realized outside of school, namely in social life. And the last, religious studies, as a da'i who calls for goodness and prevents evil. The next explanation regarding the requirement to become a teacher of Islamic religious education. For Saiful Bahri Jamara, Saiful Bahri, being devoted to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, knowledgeable, basically healthy, and having good morals. For Zuhairini, personality of believers, Muslim and Muhsin, obedient in practicing religion, has an educative spirit and sense of compassion and sincerity for his soul, knows the basic knowledge of teacher training, especially didactic and methodic. Mastering religious knowledge is not physically and spiritually defective. And the last, for tafsir, interpretation aid must be mental health, must be physically and mentally healthy, expertise, must master the fight is teaches, and master the science of education, must have a Muslim personality. The go to the last topic, which is the core of the discussion this time, is the guide and challenge for Islamic education teachers in the future. Guide Islamic religious education teacher. The work of Islamic religious education teachers is an effort to produce all problems, solve problems and find solution effort. Whereas in other research, The role and effort in question is an activity or activity carried out by a teacher to achieve a target and goal that has been planned with devoting all energy and thoughts. And the last, challenge Islamic religious education teachers. In the first, at the level of education, people are more those of general knowledge than religion. 2. The many influence of West culture entering the Indonesia area. And the last, general knowledge and skills promise future prospect of a person than religious education. Thank you for listening my presentation.
Yes, thank you for listening my presentation. So just summarize the main points of my talk. Being teacher is not easy. He must really understand the material to be delivered. Not only that, the challenge on progress of Islamic religious education teacher really has an important role in life today. I think it's enough for the presentation. Any question? This time more or less I apologize and thank you for your participation. I hope the knowledge is useful. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.